Welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are talking Transformers Rise of Beasts. No Josh today. He's taking a vacation day. He's usually never on. A lot of vacation days from that guy. We do have a special guest, though. Sanch is on again. Welcome back, Sanch.
Let's go.
Thanks
for having
Glad
me
to
on,
have you
boys.
on.
buddy.
Let's go.
I'll get into the description real quick here. Transformers Rise of Beasts will take audiences on a 90s globetrotting adventure with the Autobots and introduce a whole new faction of Transformers, the Maximals, to the existing battle on Earth between Autobots and Decepticons. This movie has a 52% critic score, 91% audience score. Quite a swing there. What'd you guys think?
Movie of the summer, bro.
Wow.
No, I mean, I can start off by saying that I absolutely love the fact that they went back in time to like the 90s. Because I feel like this is technically a sequel to Bumblebee, but it's not technically. It's more of like a reboot. So, I mean, you can view it two different ways, which is kind of nice. But I wasn't a big fan of Bumblebee. I'm glad that they kind of, reset themselves up in this movie.
I think that's fair.
A fresh start.
I actually didn't. So I saw like the three original. I think that original like trilogy that we had.
Like the Shia movies.
Yeah,
Michael
I
Bay
haven't
ones.
seen one since then. I haven't seen any of the new
you never
ones.
watched the Mark Wahlberg ones?
Yeah,
Nope.
they got 5 total. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first 3, so I kind of jumped into this one without any of that stuff. Did I need to know anything?
No, since they rebooted it, you're good.
No.
It's just
Okay.
a nostalgia factor of growing up with them. Like since
Yeah.
what did we say was 2007 when the first one came out?
Yeah, first one. Yeah, we were going to mention that first one, 2007. So quite a while. And another fact that I feel like we should mention that Brian was talking about before we actually started recording. That original movie made $709 million, and it only had a $147 million budget. This one so far, box office as of today of recording on the 13th, has only made $61 million. I don't see that. I don't see that touching.
So the one thing
709.
about the original one that came out in 2007 is that's the first live action Transformers movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to think like people, even the nerds that like grew up watching Transformers are like I don't know if they originated from comic books or what. But I mean, imagine that's like the biggest thing of all time for those guys. Yeah, were they a comic book or were they just like the cartoon stage? Do you know?
I know Transformers they do have comic books, or they did. I don't know if they still come out with them. And then they did like an animated series, and then their animated movie in 1984. I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you just rewatch that?
I rewatched it maybe like 2 weeks ago, but I mean, I rewatched all the Transformers before this movie.
Damn. Okay,
dude.
so you're pretty well versed in what
except
what
for
happened.
4 and 5. 4 and 5.
Can we agree that 2 is the best Transformers movie of all time?
2?
With the ice cream trucks and all that shit?
Oh, dude.
Dude, it's the funniest Transformers
It is
all.
the funniest for sure. I still love number 1.
I think number one's got
to beat it, bro.
Dude, like that 2007, dude, like I grew up, like I still remember like seeing the trailer for the first time.
Yep.
And it was like, to me, it was like, holy shit, like this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like I've never seen anything like this right now. And I remember seeing the movie, and I swear I saw the movie in theaters like at least like 3 times. At least 3 times. Like
damn.
Like this was like I collected like the action figures, dude. Like Transformers was like it was my childhood. Like, that was my childhood, dude.
I feel like Transformers. I don't remember if I saw the first one in theaters. I don't think I did, but I remember
you had to have.
I might have.
Because I mean, like every kid our age is going to see Transformers.
But I also remember that Transformers the movies were like something that was always on cable television.
Yeah,
like it was always on TV after they were out of the theaters. Like that it was. I don't know what the hell channel was on, but you'd be flipping through and it was like, oh, Transformers is on. Like no matter what, it was just always
shit
fucking
like that.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I know for a fact I didn't see that first one in theaters. And that's only because I remember my uncle, when the second one was coming out, my uncle and I started hanging out all the time. And he was like, all right, have you seen the first Transformers? And I was like, no. And he was shocked. He was even shocked. And he was like, all right, you're going to come over. We're going to watch the first one. And then that night, we're going to go see the second one. And I was like, okay. We literally, I remember we had that marathon. And then we did the same thing when the third one came out. He bought the second one on DVD. And we watched 1 and 2 and then rolled to the third one together.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, I remember the second one came out came out in 2009, and it came out on my birthday, and my family, we all went to see it like on my birthday.
Damn,
that was awesome. I mean, that was awesome. So
Dude, I feel like that's when they used to do midnight releases too.
What's up?
Yeah,
there was
that
back
was
in the day,
actually
it used
like
to be
a
like
midnight release.
Yeah, it
not
used to
like
be
9
actual
o'clock.
midnight release. You would go to
Right.
the movies at midnight and then sit there and get out at 2
That was
a.m.
so cool. There was so much extra like energy in that. Like
Oh, yeah.
going
Yeah.
at midnight, it felt special. Now it's like
You'll see it at
you'll
3
hear-
o'clock.
Yeah, you'll hear people. Oh, you're going to see that? You know, the midnight showing of that? Yeah, I'm going at 5 o'clock with my friends
Yeah.
the day before.
And like
Into
the
a
type,
packed theater.
like the type of movie it was back then was so much more different. Like it's like so much more real. Like it almost looks like real.
The
Yeah.
CGI
back then, it was so much more like raw and like just
think
so
that's a
modern.
They
good
weren't trying
point,
too hard, I
Sanch.
feel like.
It was like it was something different. Now you go into like this Transformers movie, the one that we just watched, and the bar is set so high that you're almost like you notice if the CGI is even a little bit off.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I rewatch that first one, I'm sure it's probably a little bit choppy. Maybe it's not. Maybe would you say it still holds up?
I
It's
think it still
definitely more
holds up.
noticeable, I feel
Yeah.
like, these days.
Okay.
But it
But,
does
yeah,
hold up to an extent.
Which is
I
impressive.
rewatched
There's
them
some
all like
scenes that
within
are
the
just
last
like
year.
really good. That are
Okay.
just still really, really good.
Well, like I'll even say it like this one, I didn't feel like the CGI was too bad. Like they did a Marvel.
I thought it
fight,
was good
you know?
in this one still.
Yeah. No, it felt good, and it had its typical like I think I said this. I texted this before we started this review. I feel like if you didn't watch the original ones, kind of like Josh, then you wouldn't have appreciated this one. Because as a movie itself, this movie was okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
But having the old ones to back up that nostalgia feeling made me appreciate this one way more. Like
100%.
100%.
But I feel like you can
Prime
also take
there.
into consideration that we had it so good. Like those first 3 movies, Transformer movies, were like top tier. And then now we get the reboot, which is like, all right, it's cool that we get to see them on the screen again, but it's not the same.
the same.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point.
But
But-
I am excited to see what they're gonna do with it. So let's get into it a little bit here. What are the initial thoughts? Because like me personally, I thought the introduction and them throwing it to the 90s, the soundtrack fucking amazing.
Soundtrack's sick.
Great
And
soundtrack.
I think it was just
sick.
really cool the way that they did that whole setup to the point, like when they did bring in Transformers, I was like, oh fuck, like that's the whole premise of the movie. I forgot.
Yeah. No,
Right.
I was thinking about that for like the first, I don't know, 20 minutes of the movie. Like I was actually locked in on the movie, Noah and his character, and then I'm like, oh like where's the transform? And then you see when you kind of figure it out, they're stealing a car. Then you kind of see how they're gonna tie it in, and of course I'm like, ooh, old Porsche. I'm like, nice pick, like for a vehicle. I'm like, that's a cool, and the character,
Mirage. Oh,
Mirage.
Pete Davidson.
Ski.
yeah, I liked him. I thought
I liked him.
He was dope, dude.
No,
thought
he,
it was-
he definitely did a good job in this movie, and I was surprised because I think I watched one trailer of it, like the initial reveal trailer, and that was it. And I had no idea who was like voicing anyone. I didn't even know that Peter Cullen was coming back.
Yeah,
And,
no,
and that was a
Pete
good
Davidson
surprise.
Was like a good Mirage was that good like comedic relief character
Yeah.
that you figure like pretty early. This guy's gonna die. Like
Yeah,
he,
definitely.
He's like the
That's
character
kinda-
like Bumblebee used to be. Like you're gonna spend the most time with him in the movie.
Yeah.
yep.
Of course,
that's
the
the other thing,
build up
too.
to him was great. I thought it was great. Like the whole stealing the car
Yeah.
and the music too going on in the background
Yeah.
when he plays it.
And then
Yeah,
you
that
figure
was
out
good
why
too.
he's
That was a
fucking
great
called
build.
Mirage,
And then
dude.
of course he locks the car when he tries to open it. That was good.
Well, dude, when
Yeah,
he's running from the police and like the Mirage is obviously driving for himself, and he's like, let me out. He's like, this thing's possessed. He's like talking to the guy and shit. Thought that was hilarious.
Well, and that was kind of a throwback to like the original one with Shia LaBeouf. Like he originally was trying to get the fuck out of that car, and it's just cruising with him. I liked that kind of like throwback to that original one.
Yeah, I definitely like how Mirage is more. I mean, like the only thing that we can kind of relate that to is Bumblebee and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Same with Wiki. And but I feel like Bumblebee doesn't talk, so it's not as different. Like you don't get too attached. But this one, like, Mirage is like, "Hey, give me fists," and like all this shit. So I thought that was sick.
Yeah, I like when all the Transformers they kind of meet up in that warehouse, and they're Optimus Prime's like, you get to see him in action too. You're like, the beast, the leader of the group, which I'm pretty sure
like humans.
Yeah, he wasn't a big fan
he didn't
of
like
humans.
him. He wasn't a fan of him at first. What'd you guys think of that?
I liked that. I thought it kind of built on his character, personally, like compared to where he's at in like the newer or the old trilogy, but in the future.
Kind of how he's always just this leader, like immediately.
And how he's always getting his ass whooped.
He does kind of
getting his ass whooped.
Everyone always spits on him and goes, "You're a Prime. You shouldn't be a Prime." And it's like,
like he can never just fight people
show
by
up.
himself. Yeah, he ends up showing up, but he never does it alone.
Never gonna give up. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but I think that it's.
That was like in the like the cinema movie world, like who would you rather have as your leader, like Captain America or Optimus Prime? I think I'm taking Optimus Prime.
I'm gonna take Optimus Prime.
He's a fucking 200. How big are they?
Like,
they're like 40 feet, 100 feet. Like how?
Oh, they're at least like 40 feet, probably.
I'm talking speech, not like.
yeah.
I've
seen that before too. Like who's
gonna lead you into battle?
Yeah.
I'm taking Optimus.
100%.
Yeah, no,
Aiden,
if you're talking like a fucking fist fight, I think I'll take the vehicle. I'll take the semi.
The fucking alien being on top of that. And I think that's the thing too. Like he hates humans because he knows damn well they're either going to try to weaponize them or kill them. And he's been there for so long just watching. Like, what was the timeline of them being there?
Because he said in the movie that they've been on Earth for 7 years.
Yeah,
After they find the beacon in the sky, and they're talking about it in the warehouse. Like finally a way back to Cybertron.
Which I liked. I actually liked that they gave us one, a time frame, and two, that time frame wasn't like, oh, we've been here for 7,000 years. It was like, no, we haven't been here that long. We're trying to go home now. Yeah.
Dude,
it made it feel a little bit more real.
It confused the shit out of me at first because I guess I thought when they were rebooting it that like the Cybertrons wouldn't be there. Like our Transformers wouldn't be there. And like we were looking at Optimus Primal and all of his boys and that they would become the Transformers we know and love. So I was so shocked when Prime pulled up and then we meet Primal later on. I was like, holy shit, there's two of them?
Well, he's named after him.
Right. But again, they say that later in the movie. And I guess
which
my
also confused me too because I thought the Maximals were first
established before the
I
Autobots.
Guess not. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah,
which is kind of
strange.
A lot
of like time traveling.
Yeah, because they say that the bird that I can't remember the name of,
Air Razor.
Thanks, Sanch.
She's voiced by Michelle Yeoh, actually.
Yeah, it's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
She was like, I'm from the past, but also your future. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need a little breakdown on that. They just
so that's where it gets into more the technical side of like knowing. I think it's got to be the comics. I don't think that they do this in all animated
show. A Beast Wars. There was a TV show that came out, and I watched a little bit of it. And there was. I mean, it pretty much started out like they were battling Decepticons through space, and they went through like this time portal. And ended up being on Earth like hundreds and hundreds of years before like humans. And so they both crash landed and then like they just scanned the area and it was of course it was Optimus Primal. They had Cheetor, Rhinox, they had a couple others. They had like a rat trap, funny as hell. And then the Decepticons, they were like Predacons, so they're like amphibians, reptiles, Maximals, or like mammals. And so, but yeah, they were like actual like characters in there, and like in this, they're not really like fleshed out characters except like Primal.
Yeah, that's true. And I was also like, this skips ahead a little bit, but like in that battle at the end when I thought that was their form, like animal, and then they're like,
I thought, yeah, they didn't switch at all until the final scene. I was like,
and then I'm like, oh, they also transform. I thought like, like them being an animal was like their form.
Oh yeah,
and then they also transform.
It would have been kind of sick though, seeing them like, because obviously we saw in the original Transformers like they scan a vehicle when they're just like bare robots basically, and then they take the form. But we see that with like Mirage is like, oh, you can sell me, and he's switching any car he wants. But I don't know if that's just Mirage because.
I think that's just Mirage.
Well, the thing is, though, and Sans, correct me if I'm wrong, B did the same thing. Did B scan that car at the end of Bumblebee when she looks at him and Haley Steinfeld's like, you could have been a fucking Camaro this whole time? Did you remember, does he scan that car, or does he just change into that car?
I think he did scan it. Scan it.
So they kind of, again, that's the only really thing from B was the idea of, like, we're in a new universe, and, like, they sent B ahead to scout out Earth that they could crash there during the war. And then, and then he has his whole thing that goes on. And I guess technically they know about them because fucking John Cena's like a CIA agent in that one. And they like side with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a random fact that I want to throw in early just because it answers our question. It says AirRaiser tells Optimus Prime that the Maximals are part of the Autobots' past and future. Apparently in Beast Wars Transformers 1996, Maximals are descendants of the Autobots who travel back in time to Earth long before the Autobot-Decepticon War.
Oh.
Yeah, so that gives a little bit. So it's a part of a different, that in Beast Wars Transformers that I have not seen. Sanch, you said you saw that?
I watched a little bit of it.
What's it on, Sanch?
Okay. No, it was on my Roku. It was on Tubi.
VHS.
Tubi.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, it's pretty animation. Yeah.
Look it up if you're a listener. Beast Wars Transformers 1996.
Well, I think
I know a lot of people like that.
What I was going on is I wish we would have seen like the primals go and like scan a damn gorilla or like something like that, like a cheetah,
something,
and then like seeing them
cool.
like or like adapt to them. But I guess they don't have to do all that origin stuff.
I mean, we kind of seen a lot. We saw a little bit of them like in the intro of the movie when they took the key to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one point randomly in the movie as we kind of continue through it. So they get to Ellis Island and they're Elena and Noah are there and Elena's there and they haven't met yet. Noah's there and they run into each other. I thought it was kind of funny when she sees the fucking hole get blown up in that place and she's like, here, take that key. I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm out. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing too. He pulls up. What are you doing in that situation? Because again, she's in the museum late at night by herself, right? And she's studying this fucking thing and she breaks what is supposed to be like some prized possession and finds the key. This guy breaks into the museum and he's spewing this shit about aliens. Like, I almost feel like I'd believe him off rip.
Yeah, no, I think I would too. I'd be like, all right, like, well, here, take your fucking shit. I'm going home.
Yeah, toss the key. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'll just say someone stole it.
Yeah, I'm not interested in all that. I find it. This is just like me nitpicking, but like, there's like this massive war happening on Ellis Island. Like,
no one says shit.
Yeah, no one even like. But 3 days ago, there was a plane that like might have flown over DC, and we had fighter jets intercepting it. I'm like, but I guess in this universe, we're just like, oh, that's probably just fireworks.
So yeah, and then that's kind of when we get introduced to all the. They're not called Decepticons, are they in this movie?
They're called Terracons.
Terracons.
Which I thought was sick because we always hear about Decepticons, and now we get Terracons. You're like, oh, all right, like I've never seen these guys before. Right. But I'm looking that Scourge was voiced by Peter Dinklage.
Yes,
I didn't even realize that.
I knew I recognized the voice.
Fuck. No, I guess I just wasn't even paying attention.
But Scourge.
Yeah, dude.
Like
I thought
him?
Scourge was badass. Like when he's sitting there and he's just ripping. What was his name before he died? It was like like silver gorilla or like the white one.
Ape Link.
Ape Link. Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
got shit on.
He got shit on.
Yeah,
He got
he
shit on.
Immediately.
He
I
had
was
some
like,
nice
God.
razors on his arms, and he still got clapped.
He just got dumped.
And then he took his little decal and put it on him.
I thought that
It's
was
a
sick
nice
too,
little
especially
touch.
when he transforms. He's
When
got
he
the decals on
transforms
his
and you can
fender.
see him on the grill.
God,
That's
yeah,
sweet.
dude.
That is sweet.
Fuck. But
He's
I thought
almost
Scourge
kinda
was
like-
badass.
Yeah, he almost is. I mean, his truck is almost kind of like a polar opposite, almost to Optimus Prime, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was sick, and I thought he was a good villain too because you like realize that like he's not gonna die like right at the beginning. Like they're gonna have a boss battle, and then he's gonna get his ass whooped, or he's gonna like take some more people out. And I mean that's like we see him. I don't know the two other names, but the one
Battle
flying
Trap.
one was sick.
Nightbird.
Nightbird, yeah, she was sick.
She was sweet. I did like Battle Trap too. He was pretty cool.
I thought also worth mentioning. I thought Anthony Ramos as Noah actually did a good job. I liked
him. I liked him.
I
as the
would
main
say
character.
so, but I feel like the script alone is where the acting got cheesy. Like you're sitting there, and it's like,
Yeah.
Well, the shit that they're saying, I thought they tried too hard in the acting.
Again, but it wasn't until that second half because that first half was like a happy-go-lucky New York kid trying to get his shit together, and then he's falling on hard luck, and he's like, "All right, going to turn to a life of crime." You think he's going to become a doughboy or something like that, but instead he's just fucking stealing cars or attempting to steal a car.
Yeah.
And then it's that second half where they do the heartwarming shit with the battle. Hey guys, we can't give up, and it's like, all right, this is bad.
That's where I kind of was like, if you cannot chalk this up as nostalgia, this feels cheesy. Like, like as a standalone movie, those are the points where I'm like, this feels cheesy. And when Elena at that one point, she's like, okay, so you guys are Autobots and they are Terracon. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
she
you
just
would not.
explained it to all the idiots.
Yeah, that's literally audience service. Like, just in case, like, there was someone that wasn't paying attention for the last 5 minutes. Like, let's just put this in audible form so that people know who they are. Also, for me at least, the first, like, 25 minutes, I did not know Noah's name. That might have just been me not paying attention, but I was like, what's his name?
Well, I like how they kind of like show his purpose and like his story with his little brother. I thought his little brother did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he was
like,
I didn't mind
especially
him.
they can carry it off like if they make more movies and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the acting was kind of off, and you can tell like kind of in the first like 10, 20 minutes, you're like, all right, like let's see some damn Transformers. But
I know.
Then once he gets in that car and you see that it's like a Transformer Porsche, you're like, oh shit, and then the movie starts rolling.
And something else that I was kind of thinking the whole time actually was as we're kind of watching Noah like in the beginning of his scene or the first 25 minutes, I thought the same thing though, Aiden. Like where the fuck are the Transformers?
Yeah,
right.
What's going on here?
Besides the opening scene.
Yeah, I thought that during like Elena's scene when she was in the museum, and there was just like her character was just dialogue heavy, like knowing all the information, and it kind of sucked. I wish like Noah could have kind of known something.
She was totally there just to move the fucking plot.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
yeah.
we split the key in half. We don't know where it's at. She's like, I know where it's at.
Yeah, just because she's smart, but they play so much on that. Both of their characters are from New York. So like, he's from Brooklyn and she's from, I don't know where she said, but it's just kind of funny. Like they put a lot of emphasis on that, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess if you're from New York, you'll appreciate that. Not being from New York, I didn't really care.
No.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
but
so
no, as kind of continue through the movie, so they get to Peru.
Bumblebee dies.
Yeah,
Bumblebee gets fucking.
That was funny too.
Dude.
I couldn't help but laugh because I'm like, damn. He just gets fucking.
Before he dies, he says, "My captain." Damn.
which
I don't know what
we
he
all
was
knew
trying to prove with
he was
that
coming
jump,
back.
dude. Like, that was a terrible
I don't
move.
know. He was trying to die.
Very stupid.
I think he's pissed that they brought him back too. I do want to jump. Like, I'm kind of lost in like where we are. We're at the island fight scene, and then
just keep
obviously
on
they do
continuing.
all that treasure hunt, all that bullshit, to find the other piece. But I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything like that. But Bumblebee's resurrection scene.
Wait, hang on. Before we get there, because there's a seed, there's something that builds into something bigger that we're definitely going to touch on. But Noah and what's the girl's name? I already forgot.
Elena.
Noah and Elena go down to the hole, right? And they're going to go find the key because the Autobots, don't want to give up where they're at and shit. And Mirage goes, all right, well, take a piece of me with you, and hands him this Tony Stark ass bracelet, bro. And he doesn't even know he has a gun on it. He's just using it for a flashlight. It's like it's an alien weapon. Of course, there's a gun on it.
Yeah, of course. I like how he says too. He's like, "You don't know what part of my body that came from."
Yeah.
That makes it
comedic
better.
relief.
I did like that. I mean, it gets kind of crazy when he puts a full suit on.
Hang on for nothing.
But I do think it's funny that he just gives him a fucking piece of him, and he's just got this like fucking alien tech on his arm that no other humans ever worn in their life.
Yeah,
And
he's got it figured out too. He's like, "Oh, flashlight, all right, yeah, no."
Yeah.
I mean,
He doesn't explain anything to him.
There's
Like,
no smartphone at that point, but he's like, "Yeah, no, this makes sense. It's a
he
flashlight."
doesn't even say like, "Hey, be careful! There's a fucking gun on it."
Yeah,
There's an alien weapon on this.
nah,
thing.
it'll just sync with your brain. It just knows what your brain is thinking.
Also, before they went to Peru, did you like how what's his name? The little brother made Mirage promise they'd look out for him, and then he actually gave him a walkie-talkie. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah,
that was
good.
And then I knew it was coming too when the little brother wanted to go with him. He goes, "I need you here so you could take care of mom."
Yeah,
He's like, "Ah, yeah, you know what? I do.
You're gonna die.
we also didn't mention that like at the beginning Noah's like MIT like engineering like cable boxes for dudes on his block and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Like,
He's just
he's
in there
obviously
fucking
tech savvy.
wiring those shits up.
Yeah, and that's how he's making a buck.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a good piece of his
Again,
character.
that intro was a damn good intro. Like I like.
Well, they saved it with the soundtrack for sure.
They did, yeah.
Soundtrack was great.
So then you kind of moving through. You get the battle in Peru, which I didn't really care for personally. That one, just because I knew it was going to be like a no result, like nothing. That's you're halfway in the movie. I'm like, nothing's going to fucking happen here. Like no one's going to die. But you do kind of see Air Razor gets hit with that thing from
Sniped her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From Scourge.
Scourge.
So you kind of figure like, she's gonna probably die or turn evil, which
I didn't expect the turn evil. I thought her whole body was just gonna like rot away or something.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought she was turning evil.
Yeah, no, but then it was cool because then they just go through the whole fucking tunnel and they walk out there and they're chilling and all the fucking what's it called come out. Like you get to see
Maximals.
Primal. Yeah, the Maximals all come out and that was fucking sick.
Oh yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I feel like something that should be noted, just like in this review here, is if you watch this movie, you almost need like a fucking Transformers dictionary.
That's what we brought Sanchez for. So thank you.
Yeah.
So
I like have to think. I'm like, oh yeah, the Decepticons, the Autobots, the
there's like fucking
the
five
fucking robot
different
cars.
names.
Andrew got a note that just says Megatron was not in this movie.
I do like that though because that's what made the movie a little bit more fresh. Like I said, like
I do
like
he wasn't the big
Terracons.
bad.
Yeah, and then you get that big ass planet. What was that thing called?
Unicron.
Unicron. I thought that was pretty sick.
Kind
But
of
I feel like it wasn't as OP as you would expect it
Ego
to be.
and the Death Star, kind of.
Yeah.
Almost like a
And it's like-
Galactus kind of character.
Yeah.
Kind of
just
eating
comes-
planets.
Which is cool because
Eats
that's like the big
planets.
bad. So obviously
Yeah.
we're gonna get more movies, and this is like a new universe that we're gonna see. So that'll be pretty dope.
He was like the main big bad in the 1984 movie, the animated one.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Like his voice in that, I thought was way better than that, and then it's in this. It's pretty deep and like heavy in that movie.
Yeah,
I
I
love
think
it.
the theme of big bads in any kind of like sci-fi movie seems to be planet destroying something. That just seems to be the theme, and that's about as bad as you can get. That is pretty horrible, you know. That seems to be like the big boss. Like if you can swallow or destroy an entire planet, you are the baddest of bad at that point. And somehow humans just know how to figure out planet
find
destroying.
a way.
Yeah, we just figure that shit out. Not sure how. But hey, good for us.
Yeah. But no, that is sick that we see they're like obviously going through the jungle and shit, and then we meet the primals. I mean, we kind of get that like big battle, like not until like the final scene, but the one that we get right there is pretty dope. Like we got Scourge and Optimus Prime going down the hill, like going through everything.
Badass.
We see all
dope.
3 of the Terracons that are like obviously on Earth, like fighting them and stuff. And I'm not sure what happens after that part.
This is such a good movie.
And that's when Air Razor gets shot right after that.
Because Optimus Prime was
shot.
about to go straight to the death with Sturg, and then fucking
they were about to throw.
Oh, then he gave him
over
up.
and
He let him
destroys
go.
the bridge, and it's like, you're a fucking robot. Jump over that.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah, he gives up on him and he lets him go because he knows he's about to whoop his ass later in the movie.
Yeah.
And then that's when we see the characters wake up like on the side of the mountain. And,
you see that the humans that were taking care of them and shit. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That they landed there that long ago, and like this was the last little family of the people that were watching after them.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like how that kind of gave like that conflicted Optimus Prime. Like he was like, oh, you know, he's anti-human, but he sees like, okay, wait, now these primals or these Maximals are, you know, friends. Maybe I should, you know, open my heart a little bit to the humans.
And on top of that, did we get that speech moment
Yeah.
where Optimus Primal was like, oh, like, I'm named after you? So, like, that was another thing that lit a fire underneath his ass, was the fact that, like, how is this guy such a great leader, but he's named after me, and I can't even lead like that?
Right.
Yeah. And I did like how, I don't know, King Kong Optimus Prime.
Optimus Primal.
Optimus Primal.
You gave Optimus Prime a really good speech in there. He
That's
was
what I was
like,
trying to say.
he was like, he said there's more to them than meets the eye. He said that.
Yeah.
He said that. And I was like, damn.
I think he's hinting at like over 50% are pieces of shit, but the rest of them.
Yeah, there's a couple all right guys in here, but yeah, most of these people are probably pretty horrible.
A couple of bad.
What's pretty good about this is that we don't get a human villain. You know, like there's no evil human villain that's like trying to be on the Decepticons or Terracons team and shit like that.
Which is nice.
Right.
We don't need that.
Yeah, because they don't really know yet. Other than, I guess they do know about Bumblebee, but also they knew that they tried to side with, were they Decepticons in the first one, Sanch? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they accidentally sided with the Decepticons, and the guy looks at or calls John Cena before he dies, and he's like, "Yeah, we fucked up and paired with the wrong people." So I think that's why they like the humans were like, "Okay, like B's around, but we're just gonna fuck off because he's a good one."
Right.
Did you guys find the scene moving through where Optimus Primal has to kill Air Razor? I thought that was kind of emotional.
It was a little emotional.
That was
I was
really
like,
good.
damn, because even though I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't crying or anything, but I was like, damn, that sucks. Like, you know, they're on the same team. That's your boy, your girl. You gotta, and Air Razor's just like, you know, we made a promise. I'm like,
yeah,
so it definitely is just different now that we mentioned that they were only on Earth for like 7 years, but obviously they knew each other longer than that. But I thought they knew each other for like a long
the
time.
Maximals, I think, had been there for quite a while.
Because
the
in the beginning of the movie, they were together.
The Autobots had only been there for 7 years.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
no, I thought it was
Maximals
touching.
had
It
been
was
there for a
was
while.
definitely but then he knew that Primal was about to whoop someone's ass.
Yeah.
He's not letting up, like he's gonna beat the shit out of one of those guys. Which I thought was sick, and I was ready for that because you knew that some shit was gonna go down after that.
Yeah. You had I think we're forgetting Stratosphere. What a dumbass character.
Is that the big plane?
Yeah, the big ass plane.
Literally,
So I think that's funny as hell because the fact that they can be transformed and sit inside of him, like while he's flying, that dude had to have been massive. And I was like trying to wait for the scale, like between him and Optimus Prime, and I don't think they ever showed it.
I mean, they show them walking out of the plane, and the plane is still behind them. So
yeah,
like,
and the plane is huge. And I'm like, damn, like even if you had that thing on your team, and like they show him when he like lands in originally, and he's like all over the place, but it doesn't. I guess I wasn't paying attention that hard.
He's pretty fucking big.
I feel like they don't even show a good job of him transforming and standing up because his size must be fucking massive.
Yeah, they didn't have the budget for that.
I guess not. They knew that they were like, "Fuck, what did we get ourselves into?"
Oh, dude, and that's another scene too of terrible fucking acting when they're hitting the turbulence. Elena's freaking out. Noah's just asking about her family and about her dad, and it's like, all right, I understand what you're doing, but this shit is ass.
Yeah, no. What does he say? The first line he says, he's like, "You ever flown before?" She's like, "I've never left New York."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, who's your dad?" Yeah, why? What are you doing to do anything?
I do like that they didn't make them a love interest.
Not
That would have
yet.
fucking made it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
That's probably the next.
They were definitely hinting at it. Trauma vibe.
Yeah, at the end when they're like, what are they on a helicopter or some shit back on the plane, and she like puts her head on his shoulder. It's like, oh god.
I think they're back on Stratosphere at that point. They're flying
She's
home.
no Megan Fox, but I mean,
Definitely not.
Yeah, but you kind of get then you roll into what they got the key, the big bads.
Yeah, they're trying to stop the key. Yep. They have she put together the code again because she's there to accelerate the plot. She's like, I think I know the password.
Yeah, I mean, I can figure this out. I mean, yeah, alien language.
Yeah, in the matter of an hour too. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been studying it for years. She's been like trying to crack the code. She's she somehow is an Indiana Jones genius.
Then you got these little human-sized canals for them to crawl in.
Yeah, just perfectly human-sized.
Yeah.
I love that in any kind of like sort of cheesy sci-fi movie, you get like they give you the map, the plan of what's gonna happen. Like they got the layout, they know exactly how this is. I'm not sure how they pulled that off. Like that's just in their brain. They're like, oh yeah, no, you're just gonna go through this tube. You know, we got this lined up. We're gonna cover the bridge. That felt a little goofy, cheesy to me, but
yeah, it works out. But no, I mean that's when we get into the kind of the good stuff. Yeah. I think that last fight scene was badass.
The main event, dude. We all came there to watch robots whoop each other's ass. And
yes, we did.
A CGI battle.
Yeah,
we love a CGI battle. I love a completely expendable, weak army where you can just see our heroes kick ass. It felt just
through
like
all of them.
15 other movies that I've seen before, and I still enjoyed it because I'm a sucker.
I wanted them to endgame it and open up a portal and see our Autobots come in from the Shia series.
I would have probably enjoyed that. Not even gonna lie, like it would have been cheesy as hell. I would have liked it.
Like you got to take into consideration, like all these, like we've never seen the primals before, and like that's like we've never seen Terracons. So like, and the one thing I liked about them in particular that we didn't really mention is that like. In the old Transformers, you see like the Decepticons just have red eyes, and they're a little bit darker, like they're more meaner. But in this one, they have like visors and shit that are all red. Like they just look sick, and they look badass. Like it's like, all right, this is like comic book action figure Transformers that they put into like an actual film. I thought that like I have to give them some props for that because I thought they looked sick.
Right.
Yeah, and that's you get to see the good guys fight, like I said, the expendable army, and that's when Mirage is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go handle the fucking biggest, baddest beast here."
The guy that just rips someone apart.
Yeah, I think I got this. You know how that's gonna fucking end. Like right away, you're like, yeah, he's dead. Like that's how this is gonna go. But he doesn't die. He, as we see, he transforms into a robot suit. For Noah to
our main
wear.
character, Noah.
He goes, hey kid, you gotta drive. I thought he was gonna turn into a car and Noah was gonna step on it.
And reverse and get the fuck out of there, right? Yeah.
Instead, he turns him into fucking Mega Man. He's out there whooping ass.
And then he goes toe for toe with Scourge.
Oh, he went toe for toe with him.
That's the thing too. Where the fuck did he learn how to fight, bro?
Nah, yeah.
Not only that, but when they had the initial scene where he had suited up and it's just his face in the fucking suit,
that was kind of bad.
That looked bad. I was like, put a cover over him so I don't have to see that CGI face.
Because his face is just normal, and it's like his face is just still. It's like, all right.
It looked just like, I can't think of it. I'm gonna say it, and you'll know right after I say it. Fuck, what was his name? I can't.
Who?
Noah?
No. I wanted to try and find it first.
Oh.
It's from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
MODOK.
MODOK,
yeah.
That.
It kind of gave me that vibe when I just saw his head in there. I'm like, just put a fucking mask, just so I don't have to look at like that. Looked really, really cheesy to me, and I almost wish he would have transformed into a car, like you guys said, and fucking hit it in reverse.
In the I think the inspiration for that was from the 1984 movie, because there were two humans in that movie. There was Spike and Daniel, and they had like an exosuit. So and they transformed into a car. So I didn't know if he actually was going to do that, but I think that's where the inspiration came from for that. And I think it was just a way to kind of not have the humans be so like helpless,
just running around as the robots. Which I guess helped kind of tie it in. It just that's where I kind of started to feel like, wow, this is pretty cheesy. And I thought it was like, okay, he's gonna take him out all by himself, but then Optimus Prime's like, no, I'm here, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
That was badass.
I was like, that's kind of cool, little
When
redeeming.
Optimus Prime just comes out of nowhere, and he's fucking huge. It's like, all right, shit.
He's just the scale on that shot was just like, holy hell.
Yeah, he's the size of his damn foot.
Yeah, and he's actually pissed off at this point. Like Optimus is gonna, like I think you said, Aiden, like you just get to see him get his ass handed. Like, all right, we're in the third act of the movie. He's now due for his job of handing out the ass kicking.
Before they kill, what's his name? They kill Wheeljack, him and Primal, and they just whoop the fuck out of him. And then
Battle Trap, that was dope.
Yeah, and then he goes, he takes his wrecking ball and just bashes his head in like 10 times. Like,
that was mine.
They were nuts though that the Maximals waited until then to fucking change like that. They were like, here's our one up.
Yeah. But I don't know. Then we see when Optimus Prime goes down, is that after we see that scene, him and Scourge go toe to toe. But I think Bumblebee comes down after they kill that guy you just mentioned.
Battle Trap.
Yeah, when they rip him out of the air.
Yeah. Then Prime goes to fight Scourge.
Yeah, because there's a ton of John. God, people that haven't watched this movie and are listening.
I don't even know what's going on. I saw the damn movie. But I don't know. I just want to talk about when Bumblebee comes down, we see fucking the big, whatever the hell his name was.
Stratosphere.
I'm just gonna call them by what they are, right? Gorilla, cheetah, rhino,
that's what
truck,
King Kong, semi,
big ass plane, busted ass plane from World War II. He comes down, man. I don't know what song plays. I can't remember.
Mama's gonna knock you out.
Yeah, that was good. He just comes down and just whoops ass.
Come back. I'm like,
man, that was badass. That was sick as fuck.
Drops down. He's just fucking lighting up everyone, and then he grabs the flying pterodon.
Nightbird. Dude, that was sick.
Blows him the fuck up.
I'm just gonna go quiet. I'm gonna let you fill it.
Oh god. The whole time I'm thinking too, as like Bumblebee's waking up and like coming in, I'm like, is he actually like a badass? Like I mean, we watched him get his ass handed to him. Like, is he really the redeeming like guy? But I mean, they tied it in.
Because he's got a heart. He brings the heart and the tunage.
Yeah, he does bring both of those. So,
but he comes gun blazing. He's fucking everything up, man. He's just ripping people to shreds. Then he fucks that one Terracon up, and then what does he do? He blows up in the sky, or no, he stabs her with her own wing, and then like kamikazes that shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I thought that was sick.
The end of the movie, like that final act, I was kind of like the whole time I felt like in between, like, oh, this is badass, and oh, this feels like goofy. Like the whole time I was like battling in my head, like I didn't have like that same emotion as I would, I think, if I really enjoyed the movie. I was just kind of in that in between of like, oh, that's a really cool scene.
Why I think it's also a kids movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, we're fucking 24 years old, all right. We grew up on this shit. Hater does.
Yeah, no, but trust me, I fucking wanted to too, but
yeah, dude, the theater that I was in, I feel like was a good mix of teens, adults.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, Andrew, because it is like school got out, I'm pretty sure, recently for a decent amount of kids. I was wondering if it was going to be like a summer thing for them.
It was fucking packed. I obviously, I like to try and go when we all go, but I couldn't. So I went solo, and the whole theater was completely sold out. Which I was like, God damn, Transformers! Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I guess I was confused on a Tuesday. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, Sanch and I went to the early release on Wednesday, so that was pretty sick. That's the first movie I've ever been to like an early release for, and I mean, I got off work late, so we both walked in at the same time. But
MJR, let us go to early releases.
Yeah, let us know. We're down.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But I went and saw that shit in IMAX, and I think my hearing's still fucked up. Because every
so I'm afraid to watch Oppenheimer and
every fucking
well, we're giving earplugs,
dude. All you hear was boom, boom in your ears.
We're gonna go in to see Oppenheimer.
We're not gonna come out.
You just wanted dialogue because then you were gonna have booming in your fucking ear.
Put subtitles on, please. Closed captioning. No, we're gonna go see Oppenheimer, and they're gonna give us like the like if you go to the range or anything, like those fucking big ass earmuffs to watch the movie.
They give us a fucking hazmat suit.
Was it you and I that said like the movie's just gonna end and it's gonna be like Christopher Nolan be like, "This is my final project. And everything's gonna explode in the real world."
He's gonna detonate nukes on every corner of the map and just fucking fry the world. So he's trying to make it as realistic as possible. I go, please don't.
I'm gonna look over at one of you guys like that was dope, and I'm just gonna look like fucking Two-Face.
No, you're gonna look at me. It's gonna be a fucking skeleton with a fucking popcorn in my hand, a fucking drink. It's like, fuck. Just saw Oppenheimer front row at the IMAX, a skeleton with popcorn.
Just blazed.
Yeah. The whole fucking theater explodes. You see it ticking under your seats, like, look under your seat. It's Christopher Nolan on the screen.
No, it's the MW2 nuke noise.
Yeah.
Like the movie ends,
there's just dead silent until you're it's just a timer. You're like, what the fuck? The fucking top of the theater just opens up. It's like, see the sky, like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, shit.
God.
But back to Transformers.
Oh wow,
the
Barbie's playing next door.
Yeah,
the fucking goofiest part comes when the battle's kind of ending. And Optimus Prime's about to sacrifice himself, and he's just sitting there hanging on to the thing. You think he's gonna float away, and you think like Bumblebee's gonna grab him? No, it's fucking Noah in the fucking Mega Man suit.
Yeah,
he grabs a big ass Optimus Prime with one arm.
Like I get it, he's got his suit with an Autobot on him, but fuck.
That was pretty crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I think that was nuts. I mean, yeah, it's cool, it's fun, but it's not realistic.
No.
We either fucking 40-foot robots on Earth.
Never mind me. How does this piece of shit conclude?
Well, they go.
Optimus Primal saves him too.
Yeah.
And then Noah,
But then wait, what about Scourge breaking
away.
the thing, and then Optimus Prime goes and whoops Scourge's ass and puts his like face in the lava and all that?
Yeah. And then
that was kind of Michael Bay-esque kill right there.
Optimus Prime's like, you know what, guys, you head out of here. You should be able to get like 15 feet away as I blow this thing up and kill everyone. But hey, you head out. I thought that was kind of funny. Like there was no hesitation. He's like, you guys get out of here. like Noah's like literally 25 feet away. He's not even a football field away. Optimus Prime's like, all right, time to blow this shit up. Like,
Well,
you
the other
guys should
thing
be
too
good.
is that Optimus Primal goes like, he doesn't even second guess him. He's like, all right, your sacrifice won't be forgotten.
Yeah.
he's like, fuck that, I'm about to take
I'm out.
charge. Yeah, he's about to take charge now. He's like,
that's what Prime was all about. He just had to choke out his own fucking friend. So he's like, hey man, your sacrifice won't be forgotten. Good luck.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, he's like, peace out.
I've had it for the day. I've been chilling here for hundreds of years. It was cool. You showed up. Shit's kind of getting crazy. You take this sacrifice. I'm going back.
Good
to
luck.
the
I'm
jungle.
out of here. But then it's funny because even like Bumblebee, none of those guys are like, no. They're like, all right. And then Noah's like, no,
checks
why
out.
do you have to sacrifice?
Optimus is gonna sacrifice himself again. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Green
works.
light for me is kind of what I saw from that. But yeah, and then Noah and Optimus Primal, are like, oh no, Optimus, we can't let you get sucked up into the big void of death, which you knew he wasn't going to. So, felt a little like no emotion there as I watched. I'm just like, oh, what's gonna save him? Is fucking Bumblebee gonna just fly out of? Oh, now Bumblebee can fly. Like, I expected him to be saved. But yeah, that kind of ends the movie for the most part. You get to see Noah go to get a security job, which he's in the interview, which is kind of funny. He's like telling the guy there, he's like, yeah, he's skating around what he was doing the last couple of days. Yeah, I was, international work. I was just working.
Busy working.
Yeah,
busy.
Busy, work. You know how it is. And the guy's like, yeah, Peru, that work can get busy. You're like, oh, shit.
Who are you?
Did you guys think it was going to be a Decepticon or something at first? I totally thought it was going to be
I
like...
had absolutely no idea
thought-
that it was going to be what it was.
Once it got to
I
that
thought-
point, I thought it was going to be like some Sector 7 bullshit again.
See,
Yeah,
I
some
thought it
reason.
was going to be like the second one when that hot-ass chick is flirting with Sam at the college and ends up being that fucking like...
Decepticon.
yeah. So I thought it was
Cheetah
gonna be
looking
that.
thing.
Okay, that's fair. See, I genuinely, like, I'm not even trying to say I'm like, oh, I knew what was going on, but I figured that was not a fucking interview. I'm like, it's probably like some organization.
The crossover, bro. The crossover was not expecting that.
Yeah,
So
that,
wait.
That I can't say I knew coming.
No,
I knew it was
gonna
some
get
government
Megatron.
shit.
I thought we
That's
were
what I
gonna get
thought.
Megatron,
And then
for
the
sure.
absolute, I think the worst
They all
letdown
had
of
a
this
different
movie
takeaway.
was the fact that he turns around, opens that secret door, and it's nothing cool. It's just a fucking warehouse.
Warehouse
There's nothing sick in it.
fan.
Like, there's no like big ass transformer, like the spark, like the big ass cube in the background. Like nothing. It's just a hangar, and there's nothing cool in there at all.
There was like
Yeah,
one
and
ship, and I
that-
don't even know like
Yeah,
what
and
it
it
was.
didn't even look sick.
Yeah.
That felt really cheesy too.
Yeah,
to
a little
me,
bit.
like
Yeah.
that scene right there. I'm like, wow, he's staring at a green screen right now.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yup.
it's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. Look at that.
You see that shit?
100%. Like they
like, where
could
the
have
fuck's up
thrown
with my
anything
hands?
in there.
It's just too fucking... It's two Autobots just going at it. He's like, wait.
That might have made it funny actually. But the cheesy warehouse, I was just like, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
But we would say what it was. So he flips over the
Yeah.
card and goes,
Yeah.
we can use a guy like you in your line of work. And again, he had a fucking suit on the whole time that did all the work. That kid didn't
Yeah.
do anything. Whatever. Flips over the card. Fucking G.I. Joe, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Interesting. Did not see that coming. You could not predict that.
Sanch,
No,
did you
not at
say
all.
there was a crossover? Because I know I texted you as soon as it ended. I
It's
go,
not even-
fucking G.I. Joe.
It's not the fact that it's a crossover. It's just owned by Hasbro. or whatever the fuck.
They're both owned by
Hasbro.
Hasbro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there
And,
were.
that's all it is. They're
there
making a
were
Hasbro
crossover
universe.
They want to sell
of
more
G.I.
toys.
Joe.
Yeah.
You said there was
There were
crossover comics for him?
comics for both of them, but I mean, there wasn't like any. Oh, they did crossover one time, and I think like the animated series they have.
Hell yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, that's all I know.
So yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
I mean, I've never
I
seen
don't
the
know. I
G.I.
mean,
Bring
I
Joe.
on
remember-
Snake Eyes, bro, because those first
It's the
two,
only one I've seen.
Those first two were gas.
I've only seen Snake Eyes. And
The one thing about G.I. Joe is, it's just I mean, personally, me, I just want Transformers. Like when I saw that, I was like, I mean, I was kind of like, okay,
I wasn't.
interesting. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, more human screen time. Like that's kind of gonna take away from what I want.
Oh, you don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
don't
see
want
more
that shit.
human Transformer mixture with
No, that's what but I think
No.
G.I. Joe, I think they're just gonna reboot that franchise and they're just gonna get like something, and maybe we'll see them collab, but like what the hell are they gonna do? They gonna sit inside the Transformer while they're fighting?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can't
Isn't
kill
that,
the
isn't that
Transformer.
Power Rangers at that point?
Yeah,
That would have been cooler. Honestly, if they would have said like Power Rangers are fucking good, I would have
Hell,
been
they
like,
should have
fuck
fucking
yeah,
collab with Fast and Furious, dude.
I knew you were
don't
gonna
give them
say
any
that.
ideas.
They're like,
Yeah, they're listening right now. They're like, "Oh my god, get this guy! Ryan's about to be off
Holy
the
fuck.
podcast. He just got hired."
they're gonna take his idea and just run.
Yeah, that's
I
what
fucking
it.
said that.
That's true, but
No, I mean, I think that it's cool. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I said, the worst part of this entire movie is when he opens up that bunker and there's fucking absolutely nothing in there. And Sage, what about that kid that was next to us? And he's like, oh, he's like, oh my god,
freaked out. He freaked out.
We're
I
in the
was like,
theater,
oh
and then
my.
when he turns that card around and it says G.I. Joe, the guy next to Sanch was like jumping like out of his seat. He's like, oh my god. He's like, I don't know what he was freaking out about.
God.
Because I was like, what the fuck? But good for
Gotcha.
him, man. Maybe he knows something that we don't. So hopefully he
I'll
gets across this podcast.
I'll give a couple facts here that I pulled up on IMDb. Josh likes to typically do that, so I'll just give the 3 or 4 that are on top here, and then we'll hit scores. You guys are welcome to share anything too. But during filming in Peru, a Peruvian child showed his Transformers drawings to the director, and in response, Capel invited him to the premiere and paid to renovate his school's roof.
Nice.
Nice.
Random Michael Bay
cool thing.
blow it up.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's only blew it up. It's part of the Oppenheimer movie. David
Michael Bay just loves blowing shit up.
Yeah, that was his only involvement in this movie. He's like, blow that school up.
He's like, oh, do kids go to school there? They're like,
Make sure,
yeah. He's
no,
like,
make sure there's no kids in the school.
By the school, we're blowing it up.
Good old Bayham.
They're like, all right, school got out at 3:30. School's clear. Blow that bitch up.
The janitor that didn't get the memo.
All
It's
right,
a
next one.
recipes.
David Sobolov, I'm sure I'm butchering his name, who voices Maximal Rhinox in this film, had previously voiced the Maximal Depth Charge and Beast Wars Transformers 1996. So he got a little, he got to be in a little more Transformers in his life. And the final one here is, according to the director, Optimus Prime's face in this movie is visually based on his voice actor, Peter Cullen.
You know, I was
I didn't
thinking
know
the
that.
same
That
thing.
is
I thought
pretty
there
cool.
was some resemblance.
I definitely didn't pick that up, but that's cool that they gave the little extra touch.
You go to meet him in real life, and he's just a giant truck, and you're just
Like, holy
He just
shit.
transforms. What the fuck?
Holy shit.
No,
I thought that was
I-
CGI. I didn't realize you were a semi in real life.
The thing with like us going to the early release, they had, I don't know how long they played it for. I want to assume maybe like 10, 15 minutes. But it was just like Peter Cullen going like on about how he got into like voice acting and shit like that. I remember he was like, I don't remember it too much, Sanch. Maybe you took more in than I did. But it was like basically his story. And he was like, I was going to go into the military and I'm like, I'm going to be a truck. He said, like,
Yeah, I remember that.
that's literally what he said. He's
I'm
like,
gonna be a truck.
his brother was like, okay. And he went in voice. He tried out for the audition, do it. And he didn't think he was going to get, or no, everyone there that was auditioning didn't think that he was going to get the part. He's like, I'm getting the part. Then he got the part.
Well,
He's
that's
been an
everyone
icon
there
ever since.
didn't realize that he was a truck in real life. And
It's like,
when he got
all right,
into
you're
the
going to
room
voice
to do the
Optimus
interview,
Prime. He's like, no, I am Optimus Prime. He's like,
time for your lines, and it's just a fucking air horn going.
He's like, wah, wah, wah,
he's
wah.
talking in an exhaust. He's fucking smoking and shit. He's like,
I'm actually really excited excited for. I don't know if you guys heard, but they're doing a Transformers Cars mashup, which should be really.
Really?
That's sick.
No, I
Tow
don't know.
Mater as a Transformer.
Yeah. Tow Mater is actually Andy from Toy Story, and when he transforms, it's gonna be huge. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But do we want to kind of roll into scores here?
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
We'll
right,
start off.
Start us off, Aiden.
I mean, I kind of mentioned everything when we were talking about this from the beginning, but I thought it was fresh. I thought it was good. I don't really like to think that Bumblebee is like associated with this because I was not a fan at all. I like the redesign of the characters and stuff like that. I'm glad that Peter Cullen came back as Optimus Prime. I thought Pete Davidson did a pretty good job as Mirage. Acting was iffy, but all in all, I thought it was fun. Soundtrack was great. But yeah, I mean, I like the Terracons, I like the Primals, I like that. I hope that in the future movies we get to see even more different like Transformers and shit like that, which I think that they're gonna do. But yeah, I think it was cool that like I feel like in the original movies that you can't really top, but like you know they're gonna remake regardless if anyone wants them or not. And but I thought they did a good job. I thought it was entertaining. Fight scenes were pretty good. I think they just need better writing for the human characters, and maybe ditch the Mega Man suit because I don't really want to see that again. But all in all, I thought it was a good watch. I honestly would watch this movie again, just because I mean it's like a good action movie, you know. And like Sanch mentioned,
Summer blockbuster.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I just remember having boxes full of all the Transformers figures, man. Them and like the rescue heroes and shit like that. And I would just fucking go ham with them. But I feel confident giving this. I don't know. It deserves like an 83. I think 83 is a good score for me.
All right.
So yeah.
I'll go next here because I think my score is close to yours. we talked a lot about this movie. It's got that good nostalgic feeling if you've seen the other Transformers movies. It's got some pretty good action, but it's also got its cheesy bits with some of the. It's not that the CGI necessarily looks bad, except for the Mega Man part that I pointed out that I didn't like. The rest of the movie looks pretty clean. Unfortunately, due to the writing and this being, you know, robots fighting robots, but there's also humans that, if we're stepped on, would be killed immediately by any of the robots, like instant death.
Because we don't see any human
They could like
deaths,
get
like,
knocked
by all
over
of
by a Decepticon and just dead.
That's reality,
chance.
but instead, you know, Noah's like he gets, you know, he's in the hand of the fucking big bad there. That I cannot remember his name to save my goddamn life here. Scourge. I keep forgetting it. Scourge has got him. This is before he's in the suit, and he just like drops him on the ground. And I was like, oh man, you know, let me get back up. Like, now you'd probably have like 4 broken bones. If you're able to get up, you'd be concussed. But so it's stuff like that. It's just me kind of bringing in the realness, which you should try to, you know, set that aside
as much as you can.
Yeah, when you're
in a
watching
movie like
robots,
this.
watching robot kind of movie, so you shouldn't look too deeply into that kind of stuff. But overall, I can't give this too high of a score. I'm going 79. I can't put it in the 80s for me personally. I think I fall somewhere in between the critic, which I think is kind of horribly low. I think we said it's a 51.
Yeah,
I think that's
like
a little
53.
That's 53. Okay, that's a little brutal. Audience at 91. You know, if you really like Transformers, I could see you maybe getting there. I'm falling somewhere in the middle. I'm feeling good with the 79.
I'll go next. I thought it was pretty serviceable for me. I mean, it was it definitely had its highs, definitely had some lows. I mean, we did get a lot more like just Transformer screen time, which is kind of what was lacking in the Michael Bay's, even though he upped it with the action, of course. But all in all, I think I did like. I wish we could have got more of the Maximals. That was pretty unfortunate. We didn't really get any of like the real characters to even talk, like Cheetor or like Rhinox. I mean, they didn't even like They had like 1-2 lines maybe. So that was pretty unfortunate. So hopefully we get more of that in the future. I did like Scourge. I thought Unicron was pretty cool too. They did have a lot of like nostalgic bits there. Definitely, they actually played the 2007 like their theme song like at the end of the movie. I was like, damn, that's a good little callback right there.
Yeah.
But Noah's character I did enjoy. Elena, not so much.
I think that's why he got the G.I. Joe job and not her.
Yeah. But I think all in all, not as good as the 2007 Transformers. Not as good as 2007 Transformers, but I think this would probably be my second favorite. Maybe third. Probably second. I give this one an 84.
Okay.
Nice.
Not bad.
All right, I'm gonna finish off here. Send it on home. So, like Sanj said, it is definitely not the 2007 one, and honestly, we knew the second this trailer came out, or at least I knew that Sanch was going to be on this fucking episode. There was no way. Sanch was the first person to send me this link because he knew how much I love Transformers. So I was like, let's fucking go. So, again, that being said, that's why my score is probably going to be right around Sanch's and like higher than your guys' by a little bit. It was fun. It was just a fun fucking watch. And my one buddy, I went with my coworkers, and he was just like, yo, like, if I don't get robot on robot action, like, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I need to see that. I don't give a fuck about the humans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's a good point. And this movie did a great fucking job of that. Granted, I'm a dumbass, and I was so confused. I was like, well, what is this ape character, and what is Optimus Prime? Like, what's going on here? And then, they brought it all together for people like me.
Yeah.
Now, my only gripe with this movie, obviously, that like the first half was a good setup, and then from there it starts getting a little cheesy. But then they make up for it with all the action in the end. That goddamn Mega Man suit, though, that still irks me. Like that's like one of the only things I can think of that was making me so mad for no reason. So again, if you liked it, go ahead, message me, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me why it's great. I mean, I want to be swayed because I do love this movie. I know that when it comes time for me to hit an Ultra Transformers rewatch, this will be one I'm looking forward to, and I know it's coming as soon as the shit hits DVD. But another downside, there's no like new divide at the end of it. You know, I wish Chester was still alive so Linkin Park could make a fucking heater for them and throw it at the end of the movie. I think that's what really solidified the first two Transformers by Michael Bay. Kind of sucks that you can't get that, but it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. With that being said, I'm going to give this movie an 83. It's a fun fucking watch.
Okay.
Get out there and see it. Especially, you can go on Tuesday like Andrew did. It's only $5. Go see it on the big screen, though. I don't think sitting at home will do it justice. IMAX is a little much. Fair. Like I said, I'm still recovering from my hearing because every step they took was the whole theater shaking. I was like,
damn truck just blows through the screen.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you would have thought there was an earthquake in there. I was like, please.
What remember when we saw 65?
65 piles
bro,
of dogs.
It was loud as shit.
Bro, my ears are still recovering from that.
Did we even see it in Epic?
No, we saw it in regular, and I remember like walking out,
regular,
shit's ringing. I'm like, am I okay?
The damn dude that's holding the camera is stoned as hell. He's got his headphones and he's like fucking holding the screen, the projector. Fucking volume was on 120, dude. I remember I looked at him and I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
I've been unconscious. My ears didn't even hurt as much as it hurt.
I remember
after
I walked out
65.
and like, my shit was ringing.
Yeah, that is. I don't know what the hell they had going on that day. 65.
Thank you for joining.
Yes,
Transformers Rise of
Beast
Beast here. Up next on Tuesday, we've got Office Space. Feel free to tune into that. That'll be a fun one as we all kind of try to relate to real life here. As
maybe
fun
a
and
little
sad
too
as
much
that.
these days.
Yeah, but Josh will be returning next week.
Yeah, make sure to message him. You know, ask him why he wasn't on here. He claims that he doesn't hate us. It feels like he hates us.
Yeah, I think he might.
Like legit, I'm looking at it. I think he's playing games right now instead of
I think he did something about.
Yeah.
Hemorrhoid. I don't know if he was being honest with us or he's making that up, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys could just reach out to Josh, say get well soon, I think his ass is hurting.
Yeah, his ass is on fire. But
or if you don't want him back, let us know.
Yeah, let us know about him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know.
But all right, boys. I'll see ya.
Thanks
All right,
again, Sanch. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, Sanch.
See you on
Thank you,
Transformers X G.I. Joe.
Can't wait.
Yes, sir. Cobra, Megatron.
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. Roll out.
Yeah. Hopefully we're in the next movie. They turn the card over and it says Small Guys Podcast.
Or
shit.
they could give us like a little Easter egg. Like one of the signs is just our logo, because our logo is kind of like a traffic sign.
Like Batman vs Superman, where you pay to get fucking ads in New York and shit like that.
All right, close this one out.
See you next
Bye, boys.
week.
Yeah.
See you.